See, no one tell you that when you release, they don't give you a package. Here. What you may do is you want to try to seek compensation. They don't give you a package.
What did they give you?
Nothing.
What did they tell you?
Nothing.
I mean, obviously there was such a long period before you were released. You were in the prison for 9.5 years. Is that right? As your case slowly started making its way and making itself heard, what were you hearing?
Nothing. It was nothing about compensation. See, once the judge made his decision and made a ruling and sent it to the criminal court of appeal, it took another 2 years before they even act on it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, now Harold Dutton, Representative Harold Dutton from here in Houston, he was very active in your case.
Yeah.
When did he get involved?
Harold Dutton actually got involved after I got out, when I came home.
And that was 1990?
Yes.
You came home to Conroe? You didn't stay in
No,
Conroe?
I stayed in Houston when I first came home. After I lost my job and stuff, I moved back home.
Oh, back to Conroe.
Yeah.
Why did Representative Dutton get involved?
Well, he was first going to help me represent on my back child support. See, once I filed a civil case, they within 2 weeks after we filed that motion for compensation, then 2 weeks later I got a notice from the Attorney General that they wanted $48,000 back child support. And not compared to Anthony Gray, he was there 18 years, he just talking about $4,000.
Right. But maybe if they catch it early enough, then there's some opportunity to stop it. They actually created a law because of your case, isn't that correct? And that was something that...
but they still sending me letters, wanting back.
But they're still dunning you.
Yeah.
Now, is that coming through the State Comptroller, or is that coming through the...
well, this is supposed to be in the legislature and them passed this. This is coming through the Attorney General's office.
You're going to have a news conference today while we're on the air. Tell me what you're going to talk about here.
Well, basically, I'm going to talk about the situation not only just with Anthony Gray, but in my particular situation as well, because Texas is the only state that does not want to pay compensation for when they wrongfully convicted someone spend many years on either on death row or just being incarcerated. Texas is the only state that hates to pay compensation.
It does seem to be a Texas two-step, doesn't it?
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, saying one thing and not doing another. Do you think the law will ever catch up?
Well, I think eventually, because you got a lot more legislators now, a lot more sharp and educated, and they see the things that's going on, and I think they want to make a change, and they're going to make a change. Just as you see the bill now, it just passed.
Seeing this bill, of course, we just got this breaking news, which makes me extremely excited that changes can happen.
Yeah, it will happen. But they don't come by you sitting back doing nothing or saying nothing.
Yeah.
You have to get involved.
Well, you have been involved, and what would you say made the biggest difference in you coming this far, getting to this point?
Well, it was a group effort, not just one particular sector, a group. There was organization that came together. People writing letters, people demonstrating, people making phone calls, people going to Austin. Even my brother even confronted the governor on the courthouse square when he made an appearance in Conroe.
Wow.
That was Mark White at that time was the governor. Yeah, he met him on the step-house truck and shook his hand and told him that my brother was innocent. And he said, well, we'll send in the information, we'll look at it. And then it takes a group effort, just not one individual, but people can make a difference once they get involved.
May I ask you about basically, well, it's a very interesting group of laws that we have for deadbeat dads or people to pay child support. What's your conclusion about the laws? Do you think they're fair?
I don't think they're fair, because really, when you go into, especially in Texas, when you go into, whether you're on death row or you're doing time, in the penal institution, they don't pay you. So how are you supposed to have compensation to pay them and take care of your children while you're locked up? Texas doesn't pay you for when you're locked up and incarcerated. And when you get out, I think they was giving them, one time they was only giving them $50 when they leave. They have been there 20, 30 years. They're going to get $50 when they leave. What is $50? Times have changed. Everything's changed. And so in my particular situation, they don't pay me while I'm on death row. They don't give me no compensation. And then how I get up to be $48,000?
Some kind of voodoo mathematics.
But at the same time, they don't compensate me.
Right.
Yeah, if they want to do something, compensate me and then take that what I owe and give it to all my children are grown. And I had paid mine down to about $5,000 before I lost my job. Now it's bloomed back up to $12,000.
Good heavens. Has it been hard for you to find work?
Well, in some ways it is, because, you know, when you get up in the age, and a lot of that's a factor as well, and then we also know that they discriminate, and they tell you not, but they do. Yeah. I went and took several tests and passed the exams and everything, thinking I'm going to get the job. Then I'm told by the person that's doing the interview, I didn't answer the question correctly, till they like it. So all kinds of things happen.
Interpretation.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity is not necessarily what it. No. That's right. Well, what do you take away from this, sir? What message do you give to other people?
Oh, just continue to keep the faith and be hopeful. Continue to strive and move forward. Don't look back, because you can't change that which has already happened. So you have to move forward and just deal with the situation.
Your time on death row, I have to ask you, and I'm sorry if it's too personal, but were you scared?
Never was I scared. I always had people from the outside, my family. I've always had my family support was there. They've always been there from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And people from all around the world write me letters to be encouraged, keep the faith. And so I kept the faith.
And do you have any message to send back to them?
I'll tell them I thank them. I thank them for their prayers and their support. And a lot of them I never would get a chance to meet. I just said personally thank you.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to be doing right now?
Basically, what I like to be doing right now is what I'm doing right now. Just taking it one day at a time. And I try to speak to a lot of young folks, you know, because they are our future. And a lot of time we see a lot of the kids now, they want that fast money and quick money, but it's a downhill, it's a downfall to all that.
Mm-hmm. Are you good friends with your kids?
Yes, I talk to my kids, and I see them often, but, you know, from that almost a decade being away from them, you know, they've grown up and they was teenagers when I come home, mm-hmm. and I didn't get a chance to see them walk across the stage and graduate, you know, so those times you never can get that back, but nevertheless, we still try to be as close as we can.
Well, Mr. Brandley, thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to keep you on for another 20 minutes, but I know you've got other things to do.
Well, I appreciate it.
Is there anything you think we need to talk about?
Well, I tell people that all the time that the only way you bring about change is you have to get involved. Mm-hmm. Don't sit back and wait until it happens to you or your loved one, then you get involved. Be concerned about those other people whose sons and daughters who have been wrongfully convicted. See, most people have a perception that if someone's arrested, they're indicted, then they must be guilty, and that's not true. So, get involved. Don't wait until they strike home first and then get involved and be concerned. Get involved now.